The Storm Lightning Blackout is a unique new ball releasing on May 17th, so we're going to mix some things up with the format again to give you another unique look at the ball, this time with Zach. Zach is on the Kegel Chromium lane condition that we always use for testing. The lane graph is linked in the description if you want to look at the details, and yes, we are still at Royal Crest lanes like usual. They just flipped the masking units for the summer. As we take a look at his layout, there are also instructional videos linked in the description to teach you about layouts and cores if you don't understand what any of the numbers mean. I also have links and discount codes for my sponsors down there. Supporting them supports me and helps to keep the videos coming, plus it gets you some cool stuff in the process. Now with Tobias in the first review that I posted, we talked about reaction range or where this ball fits in the bag, then when it would be in use or on what conditions, what stage of transition, etc., and finally what kind of bowler styles it would match up the best for most often. In this one we're going to do a surface comparison, starting first with the Reactagloss box finish, which is what we're seeing now. Then he's going to use a 2000 pad to see how it adjusts the reaction. Surface has the largest direct impact on adjusting the strength of a ball and how fast it responds to friction, or basically how sharp or smooth it is. Now just as a quick note, there are definite differences between just putting more surface on a weaker ball or using a stronger ball. Those two things aren't interchangeable. We've covered this many times before, but Zach gets a very heavy and strong roll-on stuff. He doesn't need any help getting a ball to hook, so balls generally hook more for him than they do for virtually anyone else. His Hustle USA is a frickin' monster. He quite often uses balls like the Tour Dynamics, Attention Star, Exponent, and Exponent Pearl, so balls with weaker to medium strength covers. The REX Pearl cover on the Lightning Blackout is a stronger but still cleaner cover. However, again, we're in Hustle or slightly weaker IQ Tour core territory with the Warp core, so aggregately speaking, the LBO is a medium strength ball overall. As he gets a little deeper and the back end settle down, the ball also settles down and looks really sexy in the second zone at third arrow. However, with the shine on it, it will hang if he gets it out too far. Remember, this is still a challenge pattern, and while it's not tough per se, it still keeps you honest, and there is definitely an out of bounds. As he gets inside third arrow, just like we saw for Tobias, it's not quite enough ball in the fresh on this pattern with the out-of-box shine on it. The cover's a little too clean and the core's a little too weak. So while it looks really good from third arrow, he's kind of pigeonholed there with the shine on it because it's too responsive from straighter and not enough ball from deeper. Now again, like we mentioned with Tobias, it's not meant for the fresh on a condition like this, especially with the shine on it, so we can't really hold that against the ball. Using it on the fresh is mostly so that we have a reference point for comparison with other balls, and it's also a part of the process of figuring out where a ball fits. Zach felt that even once he got some transition to work with, the ball would still be a little too clean in the oil and a little too sharp on the friction. He doubted it would be effective for him at that surface, regardless of the situation, so he decided to take a look at it with the 2000 pad. Anything above that or anything higher like 3000, 4000 wasn't going to be enough of a change, and anything below that would be getting into making it too early, so 2000 is a nice middle-of-the-road place to start when adding surface. Straightening back out a little, you can see the pad doesn't really make the ball stronger so much as it makes it a little earlier and much smoother, which is going to make it more controllable and more forgiving without taking it out of the general strength zone that the ball fits and wants to be in. Sometimes going to a stronger or weaker ball results in too big of an overall strength change, so a surface adjustment can dial in something that's already close. The LBO still doesn't really want to get any deeper than third arrow at the current stage of transition the lane is in, but adding surface made the reaction quite a bit more stable and less sensitive. Now when he gets into transition in a league or tournament situation and has the amount of friction that this ball needs and wants, adding the surface has made it more controllable while still being cleaner and fairly responsive, so basically it's still the ball it was designed to be. The surface adjustment just tweaks it to better fit Zach's game and arsenal. Short comparison to the Rhoade on the way out, since that's its nearest cousin in the Storm lineup. Same REX cover formula, just the hybrid version on this one. A little higher RG core, but also a fair amount higher on the differential, so while the core wants to roll later, it also flares more, which will help the cover get a little more traction earlier due to more distance in between the oil rings on the ball. Overall, the Rhoade seems to be a little earlier and a little smoother than the LBO, but they do really similar things in each zone of the lane. It's still a little too responsive from straighter, virtually perfect at third arrow, and while it is more successful than the LBO deeper than that, it still doesn't really want to be in there on the fresher condition. The shapes are also slightly different. The LBO seems to have more of a clean hockey stick-ish arc, like a weaker Sublime, while the Road tumbles a little more and is like a weaker version of something like a Summit Peak. Once again, the Lightning Blackout releases on May 17th. Also, please hit the description. Too many links and codes to keep dragging out every video with. Bowler's Mart link, CoolWick discount code, Nexus Backpack V2 discount link, Lane Condition, Layout and Core videos, Patreon, Discord, all of it. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.